This content is brought to you by Scoutz, the strongest Salesforce hub in the Nordics and Poland, bringing tech solutions to Danish banks.
Bohdan, Kidyk, great to have you here with us. Come join us on this stage.
Okay. Dorota, thanks for introduction. So my name is Bohdan, and I want to share my story, my journey during the creation of the biggest Salesforce hub in Scandinavia. Scoutz is about over 100 professionals that are among three main locations, Warsaw, Copenhagen, and also Aalborg. And today I'm gonna speak what was my journey, what was the takeaways, and if you will have the same challenges that we used to have while creating Scoutz, you will have some simple answers how you could work with these challenges. What exactly could be the possible solutions with this one? But first of all, I will start with introduction myself. So I'm over 10 years in IT. Yeah, it's quite a long time. And beside this, I'm into healthy lifestyle and innovation and their implementation. So I'll give you 5 seconds to think what does this buzzwords means to you. Because usually when I hear about some buzzwords like innovation, healthy lifestyle, everybody have different meaning what exactly does mean for them. So please take 5 seconds, think about this. And as a product manager, product owner, I always try to have some kind of the measurement to understand what does it mean. For me, healthy lifestyle means that just 2 years ago, I used to have 130 kilograms. As you see now, it's about 80. So this is the healthy lifestyle for me. When I talk about innovation implementation, it means for me there was a need in really mission-critical ERP system, and there was nothing. And there was only 3,000 users that needed like for yesterday, like always in IT industry. So it took me all my social capital to invest, and by having 85 professionals that volunteered their time in 1.5 months, we implemented across the country system for 3,000 users, and was actually used for quite a long time so far. So I don't know what's your measurement, but if you would like to have only one takeaway for all this presentation, always when you hear something, ask the question, what does it mean and what kind of the measurement? Because that's the way you could have some knowledge about this. So now I would like to talk about Scoutz, but to talk about Scoutz, first I need to share the story, what the Danish culture for me and how I accept the Danish culture. Who have experience with the Danish culture? Maybe some of you? Okay, I see only a few. Okay. To give you the explanation, I have really one nice story to share with you. Let's imagine that you have the best friend from the school, and there is two situations with this friend coming. You know that he is great at finance, he one of the best experts you know. And one day he coming to you and saying, I have the brilliant idea. I want to create my own bank. And I want you to become my client. This is the first situation. The second one situation, the same friend coming just another one day and saying, hey, there is a huge corporate bank opening next to you. I'm gonna be working there. Would you become the client of this bank? So my question to you, would you rather go with the guy who opened his own bank? Who would like to go with a guy with his own bank? Is there someone? Okay. And who would go for this situation when he come and ask to become the client of big corporate bank with the well-established processes? The most of you. Yes, and this is the difference. When we're talking about Denmark, in Denmark, usually people support communities. And by supporting communities, it means that they trust people next to them. For example, in ecosystem, our BC community in Scoutz, there is banks that operated only by 15 or 16 persons. And this is okay that in Denmark, usually you trust different institution and you trust the person next to you. So this is your top priority, invest in your community. When we're coming, for example, with this case to Denmark, people usually will raise the hand, yes, we support the friend. When they're coming to Poland, this is okay. People usually trust processes, well-established brands, etc. And this is the huge difference. So when we're coming to the Scoutz, there was the banks and bank institution. So there is around 17 banks at the moment and 50 institutions that we working with. And when this institution start to thinking, okay, there is about 3,000 people that we should employ just to operate the way we want to operate. But these people gonna do the same. So why should we employ 3,000? If we could employ 1,000 persons, there's gonna be better professionals, expert at what they're doing. So let's ask these people to become the part of our company. And this is how the Scoutz was created. So generally, the Scoutz is the community-owned company when the banks align together and create the community of professionals that serves their specific needs. Starting, for example, with all Salesforce implementation that they can use for advisors and not only. But it wasn't so all the time. Salesforce was introduced to the banks about 3 years ago. And here's the second question. Have you recently had the experience buying something new and shiny and want to try it like straightforward from the box? Do you have it? The same happened with the banks. When they bought Salesforce license, everybody was super excited. Let's use it. Let's have solution for all the problems that we have. Okay, so they started doing this. And because of doing this, there was created 4 different teams. So 3 big banks, and also beside this, in the BC was created the teams. 3 banks, usually they just ask someone from the IT department to start working with the Salesforce, employ people who know the Salesforce, and they start building some custom solution. But in January 2024, people realized, but we are a Danish company. Something going wrong. Why do we have 4 teams? And solution come easily. As a Danish company, let's move this all 4 teams together. But here comes the first challenge. Because there was 3 teams in the banks and 1 team in the BC, people in the banks, usually they have quite simple experience. They have the bank advisor, let's name him Lars, and Lars was coming to them and saying, hey, I have this problem. Could you help me out? And, for example, oh, this irritates me so much. Could you help me out somehow with this one? And on the other hand, we have the biggest team that was serving the whole community in the BC. And the trouble here was quite simple. We are supposed to align with a lot of different departments, with roadmaps, plan 5 quarters up front. So we was not so flexible, and we have no chance to spend so much time with this specific person called Lars and spoke with him because we should align a lot of stuff from the short period of time. And because of this, as this new shiny new thing come into 1 team, we come with the challenges. And this is the experience I want to share with you about challenges that we used to have. First of all is the ways of working. So we figure out that people coming from the bank that used to have the Lars next to him. It was easy. Come on, Lars, what do you think about this? That's my vision. On the other hand, when there was people coming from the BC, was like, okay, but could you tell me what's going to be implemented in a half a year? And they was like, half a year? I'm not sure what's going to be in a month. And this is the case. So we have different ways of working. And imagine that you have on one hand 50 persons that work like this and 50% working like this. So it's different one stuff that's happening. The second one, we have the legacy solution, and especially bank-specific solution that was built for one bank. And we are supposed to figure out which of this solution could be implemented by whole community. So it was also the huge challenge. Besides this, the thing that I'm gonna be talking the most is about enablers, how we find a solution to figure out what shall we do and how shall we do the stuff. And when we're talking about enablers, the first one that I would like to share with you is DevOps pipeline. At some point, we understand, okay, but why this guy, Lars, should be far away from us? And we start thinking how we could change it, how we could do it. Because still, we're serving the financial institutions. We have a lot of regulations, a lot of rules. But still, faster we got to the end user, faster we get feedback, faster we fail, faster we build the right one solution. So we figure out that the best approach for us is gonna be working with the business group, finding the Lars advisor or the clients who has the best knowledge about specific topic, specific issue, and work straightforward with this person using the pilot bank strategy. So it means as soon as we get solution ready, put it to the pilot bank, and together with the bank, figure out whether it's something that needed or we should change it. So this is the first one takeaway. So challenge yourself. If you see this problem like this, even if it's big corporate, you could change it and make possible to pilot as soon as possible. And the second one, we have really huge trouble with org-dependent packages. As far as I know, we're the only one big company that use org-dependent packages, and it's hell. Because we're having at the moment about 40 different org-dependent packages that represent big features. And it means that at this moment we have Salesforce that have no knowledge about some specific stuff that we're doing. Task manager that don't know what's happening with Salesforce. We have code repository that have knowledge about deadlines, etc., etc. So we have a lot not connected tools among at the beginning. And we have like 40 packages, 10 teams, and all this team will deploying all the time to the pilot bank. So you feel the madness happening. And if you know the better solution, please tell me. But what we figure out is to create our own tool that connects these 3 different independent sources, and we're adding a new one to this one solution. We call it just the tool to manage environment. So here's the first one presentation, how we actually tackle the challenge and track all the connection between org-dependent packages. So there's quite a lot of functionality, and we're making this tool bigger and bigger, but so far we are the only one, to my best knowledge, who actually know how to use org-dependent packages at this scale. And if you have some experience, please share it, because it's also gonna be good for us to know that someone else also had this experience and could bring something. And if you want to use org-dependent packages, also feel free just to come and tell about your story, what you're looking for. Maybe we already have some solution for you to share, how we start using it and how we deploy with 10 different teams about this one. So I represented to you 2 main challenges that we have as a company from my point of view, where I'm standing from. So if you will have the same challenges, now you have just overview how we done it. And if you have some questions after this presentation, feel free to ask these questions, and I'm open to discussing.
Thank you so much. If anybody has any questions, I'm ready with my microphone to join you guys. Please raise your hand if you have any questions. This way I will know to join you guys. Just take a look at the back. Okay, I think there are no questions right now, but after the next presentation, we'll have a short break. Maybe this way you'll be able to ask your question directly to our speaker. And now joining us is Paweł Niewęgłowski, the leader of our community, to give an award to Bohdan. So please don't leave us. Please stay on the stage for just a moment more. Congratulations.